Ron, it is time for pick and roll.
It's time for pick and roll.
And tonight's pick and roll, we are going to decide who of the coaching hires has the best opportunity to be successful next season. And that would be Jim Harbaugh, obviously, to the Chargers, Mike McDonald to Seattle, Raheem Morris to Atlanta, Brian Callahan to Tennessee, Gerard Mayo to New England, Dave Canales to Carolina, Dan Quinn to Washington, and Antonio Pierce to the Vegas Raiders. We're going to rank them from 8 to 1, Ron. Obviously, there's not a lot of stats involved in this. It's more about a personal opinion. But how do you have this ranked? Where do you think each guy's going to be, and number one being the most successful?
Yeah, I didn't think it would happen this way, but I'm looking at this list and what they've got, and I'm a little concerned, Eric. Because I have Gerard Mayo in New England at number 8.
Wow. Okay. Uh-oh.
And I was thinking about this. I don't think they're ready. I don't think this new regime is ready for what they have. Do they even have a defensive coordinator yet?
Yeah, they hired a kid too. I don't remember.
Exactly. So, there is one thing that we will miss is that Belichick defense, right? And if you don't have that Belichick defense, you're in major trouble if you have no offense. And I am not sold that Alex Van Pelt is going to get it done. I'm a little concerned this year. And I have them square at the bottom at number 8. Number 7, not that far ahead, is Brian Callahan and the Tennessee Titans. I don't think you have a quarterback anywhere near capable of carrying a team. And again, you just lost Vrabel and his defensive abilities, and I think they're going to be hurting there as well. And I have them at number 7. Number 6, I have Las Vegas and Antonio Pierce. I just think this team is a mess. And I'm not sure that they can even get anything going on this team because I think there's too many egos, too many people chirping, and I don't think they're going to be happy with anybody that comes in there. I think you need to blow it up and get all new players. So, but they have skill that they can actually get some wins when they want to play. Number 5, I have Carolina, Dave Canales. Is that what I would pronounce his name?
Yeah. Canales.
Look, I have them there. I mean, they have some pieces. I think he can do some things, but he's new. I don't know how good he's going to be. And, I don't want to give him too much credit, and I don't want to give him too little, but I think that's about where they'll make an improvement, but it's hard not to improve over what they had.
Mm-hmm. Agree there.
Number 4, I have Atlanta Falcons and Morris. What is it? Raheem Morris?
Raheem
Morris. I forget the A. That's probably. I'm like,
right.
I know his name.
Reem is like a water heater company, but it's close. I mean,
they have some. They have some skill. I mean, I don't know about their quarterback situation, but they could probably fix that because we know that the Patriots are going to screw up, and they'll be able to slide right in there and take a quarterback. Number 3, I have Washington and Dan Quinn. Look, he's just going to go on that defensive side of the ball and just make it good, right? That's what he's going to do. So they're going to improve just because of that. And then if they get some cohesion, on offense at all, that's bonus. So I think they're going to improve, and that division better watch out because You know, Dan Quinn is in your area, Dallas.
Yeah, no. James seems to be happy they're gone. He responded. He's happy.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But
When he disagrees with you.
number 2, I have Mike McDonald and Seattle. I just took a look at that division, and I just think that division can be had. I know San Francisco is in it, but there's no problem getting second and getting into that wild card spot again. I think in that NFC, I think they could really do that. We don't know the situation what the Rams are going to be doing during the offseason, but they have to do some things because they can easily slide back.
How quickly we forget, but Dan Quinn chokes consistently. You know that firsthand. Kenny, you mean like Radio Raheem? LOL. So, I mean, they're coming at you right now. So we know who you picked at number 1.
Yeah, so number 1, I put the LA Chargers, Jim Harbaugh. I mean, it's hard not to improve. I mean, if they make the playoffs, that's improvement, right?
Playoffs.
And I think that's a playoff caliber roster. And I don't doubt that he can get him there, even if he cheats.
Okay. Yeah. No, he never cheats. Ron, I saw this a lot differently than you. I will say this: 1, 2, we agree. I think, but I will still go through my list. But 1, 2, we had everything else. I disagree with you. I went at 8, Dave Canales, and I'm looking at it this way. First of all, he's got to fix Bryce Young. That might be a project in itself. Secondly, no first round pick at all. So
but he is in a division that's very weak.
Agreed, but now you're not going to be able to get players in, and they're 13th in cap space. So it's not like they have a ton of money to be able to throw at players. So I feel like he's going to have some trouble getting some talent. At 7, I went Raheem Morris. 16th in cap space. They still need to get a quarterback. We talked about that. 8th pick in the draft, so they might be able to get a player out of that. But we all know that Bill Belichick interviewed twice for that position. We all know the reason why he's not there is because he wanted complete control and everybody else in the organization was fighting it. If Raheem Morris is struggling early, he's going to hear a lot about Bill Belichick. And I think that puts so much more pressure on him now to say, everybody's going to be like, they should have hired Bill. They should have hired Bill. So that's why I put him at 7. At 6, I put Dan Quinn. Yes, they got the 2nd pick in the draft. Most likely it's going to be a quarterback. Last time I checked, he's a defensive-minded coach. So that, I don't know how well that's going to work. Secondly, they got rid of a lot of pieces last season because they were trying to get some caps, not cap space, positions. They do have the most money to spend, though, in free agency. So I think that's Dan Quinn texting. Let us know that the world's falling apart. But they need a ton of pieces, and it's a tough division. You got Dallas, you got Philly.
It is. That it is.
Through that. And the Giants, listen, they can be competitive if they figure out a couple things. So I thought that was a tough one. So I got Gerard Mayo at 5. 3rd pick in the draft, but they got the 3rd most money to spend in free agency. They don't have a lot of talent, so it's going to take a lot of pieces and a lot of coaching. To me, 5 through 8, listen, I think they're all going to struggle. I don't think any of them are good. So,
absolutely.
I went 4. I went Brian Callahan. They've got the 2nd most money to spend in free agency. They got the number 7 pick. And Will Levis played okay. I'm not saying he's great, but okay, where if they get a couple more pieces around him, maybe you keep Derrick Henry, maybe you do some things on the offensive line, they might be okay. At 3,
they're not going to keep Henry.
No, I don't think so either, but I'm just saying if they did. At 3, Antonio Pierce. This team played much better for him than they ever did for Josh McDaniel. So he's already.
That's right. They did. I forgot about the run they went on.
Yeah,
I did.
The players rallied around him. They've got the 10th in spending from a free agency standpoint. So, and they still got one of the best wide receivers in the league, right? They still got some really good defensive guys.
Yeah.
So I could see him, at least getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, I forget about the run. I mean, with all the problems they've had, it's easy to forget stuff like that.
Yeah, listen, Josh McDaniel, that whole episode, everybody's trying to forget
I got to give you that one for sure. They should be really higher on my list. Probably number 3.
Yeah, Devontae Adams, right? You got that. They got to figure out the quarterback spot.
Yeah, you're right on that one.
At 2, I had Mike McDonald. I agree with you. Solid team, right? Defensive minded. He can get in there, maybe get a couple players. Here's where they got to struggle, though. They're only $1 million. They're less than $1 million under the cap. They have no money. So they're going to have to work some contracts, maybe have to try to get some guys that are really good and trade them or move them, and that might hurt them. But if he can keep the core of that team together, and we all listen, we doubted Geno Smith. He looks better, right? You got DK Metcalf, Eric Metcalf. I'm going way back now. I'm on this Cleveland Browns Alex Van Pelt thing.
Tecmo.
Right? So I think depending on the cap situation, I agree with you with Jim Harbaugh at 1. Here's the only problem, right? They got the quarterback, number 5 pick in the draft. You're like, wow, this looks great. $44 million over the cap right now.
Yeah.
They're going to lose somebody key
you're right.
on that team. It depends on what they lose. To me, I would almost say lose somebody on the defensive side and keep Herbert's weapons. Because I think Jim can work with the weapons and make them a really good offensive team. And you got to hope you hit on the draft at a number 5 pick defensively. If they do that, instead of going offense at 5, I really feel good about where they could go. So I agree with you, Jim Harbaugh.
You also have to worry about if Herbert can really make the decisions needed.
Yeah.
To get them
agreed.
over.
Listen, we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it. So yeah, you're very true in saying that, my friend.